Hello, I'm Mark Holmes, the editorial director of ViaSatellite. I'm in IBC at Amsterdam this weekend, and I'm talking to Richard Jacklin of ViaLite Communications. From a ViaLite perspective, can you tell us about some of the trends right now you're seeing from your customer base and in the market as a whole?
Sure. So we work in a number of markets across the world. So we're sort of predominant in SATCOM, satellite communications, in broadcast, like the outside broadcast, backhauling, and also into GPS timing and synchronization. There are kind of three broad markets. We're seeing changes, of course. The market's always changing, but we're seeing changes in those three key markets. In satellite communications, I suppose two areas we've seen development. One, more sort of Ka band diversity and long distance link rollout. So normally in a year we would maybe do 2 or 3 of those, but we've seen a marked increase over the last year where customers are trying to build in redundancy and diversity into their Ka band links. So that's been a positive market driver, I'd say. The other area in SATCOM that we've seen developing, still early days, which is the LEO ground station and gateway market. So obviously this is still very new. LEO constellations are still in the process of being launched, and the ground station equipment is kind of starting to sort of gather pace a little bit. And that's a very interesting market because it sort of steps away from the large geo kind of satellite dishes we're used to. The LEO is sort of communication gateways are kind of like clusters. So yeah, it's an interesting kind of development.
I've just been in Paris and there's been a lot of talk about broadband constellations, particularly these LEO constellations that are coming up. Does the fact that we're seeing this quote-unquote LEO revolution, so to speak, does that present some unique challenges to a company like ViaLite?
So it's, I would say the challenge there is scale. So these clusters of antennas can be in kind of groups of 5 to 20 antennas at a time on a small radius, compared to the old geo days of a large dish. You might have a single dish in one location. So that presents scale because we're having to produce a lot more at a lot lower cost for the kind of LEO constellation market. So that's a different kind of business for us. Yeah.
And I'm sure like myself, you've been to a number of IBCs down the years. Are you detecting any changes in terms of the conversations, or how does, for example, this IBC compare to say last year with ViaLite in terms of the conversations you're having?
Yeah. So I think obviously IBC is kind of sort of split for us in terms of high satellite communications element, plus also broadcast. So I think in the broadcast part, it kind of goes in phases for us. So right now we are gearing up towards an even year. So it sounds a bit bizarre, but 2020 next year we've got the Tokyo Summer Olympics. We've got some other big sporting events, and that tends to drive business on the broadcast side. So we see that reflected in conversations we have here. So we get this kind of cyclical investment into the broadcast side. So this year will be quite high because we're gearing up for an even year.
And one final question. You showed us yesterday this very cool system designer tool.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could explain to our audience a little bit about this tool and why you think it can maybe help with their networks.
So I think RF over fibre as a technology, on the face of it, is quite simple, and you can build simple links. But as we build up towards long distance links, using high numbers of channels for DWDM, then the complexity rises quite significantly. So what we've done with System Designer is a new launch this year. It's trying to capitalise on the IP that we have in the business and the intelligence we've got in our system architects, wrap it into a kind of a nice software product, give that our customers so they can use it. So we're kind of amortizing that knowledge now across our customer base. So it's still early days, but we're getting a lot of promising results back from our first customers on the product.
Excellent. Well, we wish you and ViaLite well with not just that product and technology, but with all your other technology as well. Pleasure talking to you today, Richard. This is Mark Holmes, the editorial director of ViaSatellite.